The billionaire sat alone at the corner table, the kind of man whose presence quietly changed the temperature of a room. No one recognized him at first. Dressed simply in a charcoal coat and an old watch with a cracked leather strap, he looked like any other tired traveler stopping for dinner. The restaurant itself was small, tucked between a laundromat and a closed bookstore, its windows fogged from steam and winter air. Inside, the smell of spices, butter, and something warm and familiar wrapped around him like a memory he hadn't visited in decades. When the waitress approached, she smiled politely, the kind of smile practiced through long shifts and low tips. Her name tag read, Maya. She handed him a menu, but he barely glanced at it. "What do you recommend?" he asked. Maya hesitated, then pointed to a modest item near the bottom. "The house lentil stew," she said softly. "It's not fancy, but people say it feels like home." He nodded. "I'll have that." As she walked away, he studied the room. Families whispered over shared plates, an elderly couple split dessert, a tired truck driver warmed his hands around a mug of tea. This place wasn't about speed or show. It was about surviving another day. The billionaire, Elias Warren, knew something about survival, though the world only knew him for his success. Tech empire. Global investments. Magazine covers. But none of that mattered here. When the dish arrived, steam rising gently from the bowl, he paused. The stew was simple, lentils, vegetables, herbs, but something about it stopped him. The aroma pulled him back to a different time, a small kitchen, a single light bulb, his mother humming while stirring a pot just like this one. He took a spoonful. His hand froze, the taste hit him harder than any business loss or market crash ever had. It wasn't just good. It was precise. Balanced. Familiar. His throat tightened. He took another spoonful, slower this time, as if afraid the flavor might disappear. He finished the bowl in silence, then leaned back, eyes distant. When Maya returned to clear the table, he looked up at her. "Excuse me," he said, voice steady but eyes intense. "Who made this dish?" She blinked, surprised. I did." He studied her face, as if searching for something hidden. "You prepared it yourself?" She nodded, suddenly nervous. "Yes, sir. I help in the kitchen when it's slow. The cook lets me make it sometimes." Elias stood up. The restaurant went quiet. A man standing abruptly always drew attention, but something about his posture made people look twice. "I need to speak to the person who made this," he said clearly. Murmurs spread. The owner rushed out from the back, wiping his hands on his apron. "Sir, is there a problem?" "No," Elias said. "There's something extraordinary." He turned back to Maya. "Where did you learn to cook like this?" She swallowed. "My mother taught me. She used to make it when I was little. We didn't have much, but food was how she showed love." Elias's eyes softened. "What happened to her?" Maya hesitated. "She passed away 5 years ago. Cancer." The room felt heavier. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "Thank you." He reached into his coat and pulled out his wallet, placing a bill on the table. It was more than the cost of the meal. Much more. She shook her head quickly. "No, sir. I mean, should I?" He smiled faintly. "No. That's not important." But someone at the counter had already recognized him from a news article. A whisper turned into a ripple. Phones came out. The name Elias Warren floated through the room like electricity. Maya's face drained of color. "Wait, you're..." "Yes," he said gently. "But tonight, I'm just a man who ate a meal that reminded him why he started everything." The owner cleared his throat nervously. "Mr. Warren, if there's anything we can..." "I'd like to ask Maya a question," Elias interrupted. The owner nodded quickly. Elias gestured toward an empty chair. "Please, sit." Maya hesitated, then sat, hands folded tightly in her lap. "Why are you working here?" he asked. She laughed nervously. "Because rent is due every month? Because my little brother needs school fees? Because dreams don't pay bills." "What dreams?" he asked. She looked down. "I wanted to open a small cafe someday. Nothing big. Just honest food. A place where people feel safe." The word safe echoed in Elias's chest. He thought of boardrooms, contracts, power plays. None of them felt safe. They felt cold. "You cook like someone who understands people," he said. "That can't be taught easily." Maya shrugged. "Life teaches you." Elias stood again and reached for a pen from his pocket. He wrote something on a card and slid it across the table. "My office address," he said. "Come tomorrow at 10. The owner gasped. The customers leaned in. Maya stared at the card as if it might burn her. "Sir, I can't just." "I'm not offering charity," Elias said firmly. "I'm offering opportunity. If you don't come, nothing changes. If you do, something might." She looked up, eyes glassy. "Why me?" Elias took a breath. "Because kindness, when done quietly, deserves to be seen." The next morning, Maya stood in front of a glass building so tall it made her dizzy. Security escorted her inside. Everything was marble and light and silence. She felt out of place in her simple coat and worn shoes. Elias met her in a small conference room, no assistants, no cameras. "I had my chefs recreate your dish," he said, gesturing to a covered tray. "They couldn't." He lifted the lid. The stew looked perfect. He tasted it, then shook his head. Technically flawless. Emotionally empty. Maya smiled sadly. "Food isn't just ingredients." "Exactly," he said. "I want to fund your cafe." Her breath caught. "Sir, I don't have." "You have what matters," he interrupted. "Skill. Heart. Integrity." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Why would you do this for a stranger?" Elias leaned back. "When I was 12, my mother worked 2 jobs. One night, she collapsed from exhaustion. A waitress at a diner stayed with us after her shift, cooked us soup, and refused payment. That soup kept us alive that week. I never forgot her." He paused. "I never found her either." Maya wiped her tears. "Then maybe this is how you repay it." "Maybe," he said softly. Within months, Maya's cafe opened. It was small, warm, and always full. Elias never put his name on it. He visited quietly, sat in the corner, and ordered the lentil stew. Maya always noticed. She always smiled. And every time someone asked who made the dish, she answered the same way. "My mother did. I'm just passing it on."